welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So today I have a special video for you, and this is my first installment in the Reese Witherspoon book club videos that I plan on making this year. If you missed it in my goals video, I announced that this year I will be reading each Reese Witherspoon book choice the month they come out. If you hear cooing, I've got Miss Sydney on the ground with me. So I plan on doing this every month, and then at the end of the year we will do a culminating video of what did we think. So we're gonna blow bubbles. This is my third time trying to film this video, so I just need to get through it. The first time I lost my train of thought, like right at the end. The last time Minnie started barking, so now we're gonna have baby screams. So this month, the choice was Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed, and this book has been getting so much buzz over on Instagram. I haven't really seen it too much yet on BookTube, but it has definitely been all over Bookstagram. Everybody's been giving it like 5 stars, so I was getting really hyped for this book, and luckily right before I picked it up, some of the negative reviews started coming out, so it brought my hype level down, which was definitely a good thing, because I probably would have been really disappointed with this book if my hype level did not get brought down. This follows a character named Amira. Okay, she wants to blow bubbles, so we're gonna see if picking her up makes her stop blowing bubbles. So it follows Amira, and Amira is 25 years old, and she's trying to figure out what she wants to do in life. Her friends are going places, they're getting jobs, they're getting 401ks, they're getting boyfriends, they're getting more money, and she kind of feels like she's going nowhere. She currently works as a typist, and she also is part-time babysitting for the Chamberlain family, and we are also following Alex Chamberlain, which is the mother of the 2 girls that Amira is babysitting for, and she kind of has gotten to her place in life by writing letters to companies and getting free things. So basically an influencer. And she is living in this town in Pennsylvania with her husband, even though she really misses the city life because she's supposed to be writing a book about kind of how she made her company. Then one night, Alex's husband calls Amira kind of frantically, like, you need to come. Somebody egged our house and we need to call the police, and we don't want Briar here when the police show up. So can you come take her to a grocery store just to get her out of the house? Now at this point, Amira was at a birthday party, so she's not dressed like the typical babysitter. She's had a drink or 2, and they're like, it's okay, just come anyway. So she goes to the grocery store. Do you see yourself? She goes to the grocery store with Briar, and while she's there, all of a sudden a security officer comes over and basically accuses Amira of kidnapping Briar because they are 2 different races, and he refuses to let her leave the grocery store because he feels that this child is in an unsafe condition and that she was kidnapped. So while they're there, Kelly is a man who just happens to be there, and he films the whole thing. And suddenly, finally, Amira is able to get in contact with the dad, and the dad comes down and is like, no, she didn't kidnap my child. She's the babysitter. And so now they've got this video, and Amira doesn't want this video shown. She feels like it doesn't show her in the best of lights, and she just doesn't want the public to get a hold of it. So she convinces Kelly to delete it. Kelly emails it to her so she can have it, and they go on in the story. I felt like this story was definitely an important one in terms of discussion of race and inequalities in life, whether it be through race again or money status, your wealth status. So it definitely brings up a whole ton of conversation. So if you were thinking about keeping this as a read for a book club or something, I feel like it could definitely bring up some conversations. Obviously you want to be careful with conversations like that because you don't want it to start fights, but I feel like it definitely will bring up conversation. A lot of these characters in this book were not my favorite. I think Briar, the 3-year-old, was probably like my most favorite character. She is full of spunk. She's got a lot of personality. She's got a lot of weird, quirky interests, and I just really enjoyed her as a character overall. And, but I did feel like the story did fall flatter than I would have liked. I did give it 3.5 stars because I did feel like there were moments in this book where it would suddenly feel like this is the turning point, this is where it's going to get really good, and it would get really good temporarily, and then it would fall back down. So I'd be like all hyped to keep going, and I'm like, this is it, this is where it's going to get good, and then it would just be like, okay, never mind, and it would go back low, and then it would like come back up, and then it would go back low. So I kind of gave it 3.5 stars because of that. Because there were parts that I definitely really enjoyed, and then the rest of it was just a good read. And then that's kind of where it's hard to keep talking, because I feel like a lot of this book to talk about would be a spoiler. I find that a lot with like contemporary fiction like this, where it's like the story that you just kind of have to read to find out. I do say that if you had any interest in reading this book, I highly recommend you check it out. I would never say not to, especially because there are so many 5-star reviews out there. So I would think that if you had any interest in reading it, I would give it a shot. And now I think the rest of this video is probably going to be spoilery, so if you have not read this book yet, I would click out and then come back after you read it, because I would hate to spoil you by accident, because I'm going to get pretty spoilery. If you're gone? Yeah? Okay. So now moving on with the rest of the book, I felt that I really disliked Alex. I felt like I did not understand the decisions she was making. I felt that she was kind of she was an interesting person to read from, because she felt very entitled, but like aware of the world at the same time. So I couldn't really get a good grasp on her. I really thought that there was going to be way more drama with the fact that Alex and Kelly had dated in the past. Like when I made the connection that that Alex was Alex, and, that was who Kelly had dated, I was like, we're in for the drama now. And it just like, it didn't kick in as much as I thought it would be. Like when they went to Thanksgiving dinner and like there he was standing there, I was like, this is it. And then like they kind of just like had a decent-ish dinner together. P.S. What was with that turkey piñata? Like I don't understand why she like dumbed down Thanksgiving to like please Amira and to show that she's kind of cool too. Like who needs a turkey piñata? Like that, it was just, that was weird. But I just, especially knowing after the fact that, like, Alex knew the whole time that this guy never actually gave her letter out to, like, have these people come to her house. I was like, girl, you knew the whole time, and this is what you, like, you still did this. You still told all your friends that, like, he basically let all his friends come to the house, and you then broke the relationship up because of it. Girl, he didn't do it. Like, it was so weird. I didn't understand that. Like, you knew that he never did that, so why are you sabotaging his life now? It was very strange. Like, I never really wanted Amira and Kelly together anyways. I never really liked that dynamic. Like, for some reason in the back of my head, I kept thinking that, like, Kelly was in on it the whole time, and that it was kind of set up, and that he was kind of with her because he wanted her to release this video. Like, I never really trusted Kelly to begin with, so I was kind of glad that they never got back together. But I didn't understand what Alex's true motives were to getting them not to be together. I felt like that didn't make any sense, and her to release that video really bothered me. I know that, like, the question on the inside was, what happens when you do the right thing for the wrong reason? So I was like, was that their idea of the right thing? Like, the right thing was to release this video? And I also didn't like that the synopsis talks about the releasing of the video when it doesn't happen until, like, the last so many pages. So, like, I kept waiting for this video to get released, and it didn't get released, and it didn't get released, and it didn't get released, and then, like, why did it get mentioned in the synopsis at all? I don't know. let's see, what else can I talk about? I really did like Amira's friendship group with, what are you doing? You have the hiccups? I did like her friendship with Zara. I didn't understand the other girls in the clique too much, and I felt like Amira didn't really like them either. I also didn't really like how, like, Amira finally, like, did what she needed to do by the end of the book, but I just felt like it was weird to see her kind of have no direction in life when they would ask her, well, what do you want to do? And she'd be like, I don't know, nothing. Like, it was just like, for somebody who seemed so upset with the world and not having things and watching her friends get drinks for everybody but knowing she couldn't, I thought it was very bizarre how she did kind of seem a little not motivated. Like, she was kind of okay with still remaining a babysitter. Like, I know she loved Briar, and I could connect to that so hard being a teacher and working in a daycare. I could see that connection and not wanting to leave Briar and feeling that, like, Briar wasn't cared for in any other capacity, so I might as well stay and care for her. But it also just felt very bizarre that she went to college and graduated, yet still was like, I think I'll babysit. Like, I understand not having a true passion in life and not really understanding what your passion is, but, like, it just was weird to see her, like, so envious of other people's lives and wanting to possibly, like, have more money and to be able to live in a nicer apartment, yet she wasn't doing anything about it. That kind of bothered me a little bit. But yeah, what are some of your thoughts? If you are going to leave a thought down below, like, can you at least put the word, like, spoiler on top so that way people don't read it by accident and get spoiled? Or if you want to DM me on Instagram, I am the Girly Girl Bookworm over there as well. So we can have a discussion about this. I'm really looking forward to seeing what February's book is. So this didn't discourage me by any means. I still think it was a really decent read and an important read. I just didn't love it as much as everybody else did. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry about little Munchkin, but I figured you'd much rather see her pretty little face than deal with screaming. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys really soon. Can you say bye-bye? Bye-bye.